Hello students. Today we will add more numericals on the electricity, but it is a different nature and its difficulty level is also average. So one of the questions I got from your book, a piece of wire of resistance 20 ohm is drawn out so that its length is increased to twice its original length. Calculate the resistance of the wire in the new situation. I mean to say about question that a wire is there whose resistance is 20 ohm, length is L1 and cross sectional area is A1 and resistance is R1. But that same wire is drawn out and make its length doubled. It means length becomes 2L1. Here is L1, so the length becomes 2L1. Then how does the value of the R2 or resistance of that situation is calculated? Here you see R is equal to rho L by A. It is a well-known example where rho is the specific resistance, L is the length of the wire, and A is the cross-sectional area. So from that particular base formula, we put two, one for R1 and one for R2. R1 is equal to rho L1 by A2 and R2 for R2 rho L2 by A2. And from these two relation R1 and R2 we make the ratio R1 by R2, and then finally we cancel out the row of both of the R1 and R2, then it gives that relation L1 A1 into A2 L2. Now the length is changed. In the situation length is changed. This means L2, the length of that same wire becomes L2 and that becomes double of first one. So L2 is equal to 2L1. अगर लेंथ बढ़ता है तो क्या होता है, जो है एरिया में डिफर हो सकता है, बट दोनों का वॉल्यूम क्या होगा, सेम होगा. तो वॉल्यूम क्या है, एरिया इंटू लेंथ, एरिया इंटू लेंथ. फर्स्ट का एरिया इंटू लेंथ और सेकेंड का एरिया इंटू लेंथ, दोनों वॉल्यूम सेम. अब इस रिलेशन को हम ले जाकर यहाँ उससे एक रिलेशन निकाले A2 बाई A1 इजकल टू L1 बाई L2, जिसका क्या आगे काम है, जिसका यूज करेंगे. सो दिस फ्रॉम दिस रिलेशन वी पुट अनदर रेशियो बिटवीन क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया A2 बाई A1 एंड L1 इजकल टू L1 बाई L2. अब क्या किए, यहाँ से हम इस रिलेशन में क्या है कि अब A1 और A2, here you see that A1 by A2 is equal to L2 by L1, where we put the value of L2 from this equation here. L2 is equal to 2L1, so we put the value of L2 is equal to 2L1 here, and then we got this relation 2. When we cancel, we got the relation 2 is to 1 or 2. From this equation 1 and equation 3, we take R1 by R2 from here and L1 and L2 here and A2 by A1 here, and then what we do, L1 and L2 here, and from this equation, from three equations, what we put in place of the A2 and A1, we put the L1 and L2 here. So it becomes L1 into L1 is equal to L square, and L2 is into L2 is equal to 2L2 square. And now we again move forward, R1 by R2 is equal to L1 square, and in place of the L2 we put the 2L1 value from this equations. So in place of L2 we put the 2L1 here, and then we simplify L1 square and L1 square is equal to 4L1 square, and L1 square and L1 square is cancel out. So R1 is equal to 1 by 4 is equal to here R2 when we cross multiplication, R2 is equal to R1 into 4, and then in place of R1 we have already got 20 ohm, so here is a 20 ohm and into 4, then it becomes 80 ohm. So R2, value of the R2 is equal to 80. Now we will discuss a new numericals. Second numerical here. Here is a figure. You see from the question figure is given 10 ohms and 3 ohm and 4 ohm resistors are there through the circuit. 12 volt current is connected. 3 ohm and 6 ohm they are in parallel. So all about it. We have calculated the current into the current through the 3 ohm circuit, 3 ohm resistance. What is the current of 3 ohm resistance? For that we start. First we calculate the equivalent resistance of the circuits. You see here this 3 and 6 they are in a parallel. So its equivalent resistance is equal to 1 by Rp, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 by 1 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. And that becomes, when we calculate, we finally got the value of Rp is equal to 2 ohm. Because it inverse, and that becomes 1 by 2 is equal to 2 ohm. Now we got the Rp here as a equivalent resistance of these two, and there is a 10 ohm. So this 10 ohm resistor and this Rp that are in a series combination. So equivalent resistance of these two, Rs is equal to Rp plus 10 ohm. Rp, the value of this is Rp and this is 10 ohm. So Rs is equal to Rp plus 10 ohm, and we got the formula value of Rp is equal to 2 ohm here from this, and we have already given the 10 ohm here. So when we add it, then it becomes a 12 ohm resistor. So finally the equivalent resistance of the circuit is 12 ohm. Now we calculate the total current into the circuit, and for that we apply the Ohm's law, where V is equal to Rs, V is 12 volt, and Rs is, we have already calculated 12 ohm, V is 12 volt and Rs is 12 ohm. When we put into it, we got the 1 ampere of current. When it cancel out, it becomes 1 ampere of current. So total current into the circuit is 1 ampere. Now we calculate the potential across the IP. Potential across Rp. This is Rp. So we find out the potential across Rp. V is equal to I Rp, because these Rp and 10 ohm both are in a series combination. So the current is same. So V is equal to I Rp, and the value of I is 1 ampere and Rp is 2 ohm. When we multiply, finally the potential across the Rp is 2 volts. Now finally we want to calculate the current through the 3 ohm resistor. So for that, I1 is equal to V I R1, where R1 is a 3 ohm and V is we have already calculated here 2 volt. So 2 volt and R1 is 3 ohms. When we put into it and calculate, then we got the 0.7 ampere of the current. So the current flow through the 3 ohm resistor is 0.67, and current through all along the circuit, that 1 ampere. So finally the answer of that question. Now you all at home discuss more and more problem this type of, and you quite competent for that. So you must do it. Thank you.